Hello, everyone. This is Mike from Dimensional Walking. And today we are going to talk about, and I'm going to title this one UFOs, the Jimmy and Bill and me stories. Okay? Did you get that? UFOs, the Jimmy and Bill and me stories. Okay? So, Jimmy is President Jimmy Carter. Okay? And in 1996, during his initial presidential campaign, he pledged that he would, if he was elected, he would encourage the government to release all of the files on UFOs, etc. He didn't really, I don't think he mentioned aliens, but he did say UFOs. So that was his pledge. So, anyways, I don't think he really expressed why at that time he was that interested in it. Now, so let's fast forward to 1990. Okay, 1990, probably in the spring of 1990, I lived in a place called Peachtree City, Georgia. I lived there for quite a while. Lovely place. Jimmy Carter's son also lived there, and his grandson, of course, he lived there also. And so one time, actually, it was actually the 4th of July. Now I think about it, it was right around the 4th of July. They had a parade. They have a parade there, and if you know anything about Peachtree City, it's one of these planned communities that has all this golf cart pass, and everybody has a golf cart, including we had a golf cart. So you have this parade, typically once a year, and we had this parade. And my daughter, who was a pretty smart kid, she got lucky enough to be the co-marshal of the parade with Jimmy Carter and Rosalind Carter. So they were together in this coach and pulled by horses. And so, anyways, just before, actually, it was just after the parade was over, I went to pick up my daughter, and there was Jimmy and Rosalind, and they, my daughter introduced them to me, and we chatted and talked, and I think Rosalind and my daughter talked, and I was just talking to President Carter. And so I asked him, I said, hey, what's the deal with UFOs? Kind of right out of the blue. I just usually, that's what I was interested in, always have been. So, plus paranormal things. But anyway, so he said he was pretty excited to talk about it. So he said, yeah, did you hear about the time in, I think it was the late 60s, I was in a place called Leary, Georgia, and I was coming out of this what was it, Lions Club, a meeting or something he was having, kind of political thing. And he said there was about 10 of us there, plus myself. As we came out, we looked up at the sky. There was this huge luminous object that looked like a moon, or huge. And it wasn't the moon, and it was a UFO. And it was pretty amazing. And he apparently did report it to the official, I don't even remember who the official reporting is, maybe the Air Force or whatever at the time. And nothing came about it, but he reported it, and he said, I never forgot it. He said then he briefly told me that he had another experience, and it was an Air Force One. He was looking out the window, and a UFO came kind of right by the wing and quickly took off again, he said. But that was pretty amazing too, but it was very brief. Much more brief than the original one, which he said was about 10 minutes or so. So anyways, that was my Jimmy Carter story. I think is a pretty cool story. I don't think he really pushed real hard when he became president to get any type of information out. I'm not sure. I don't remember anything popping out during his I guess he was there for 4 years. I don't believe he was pushing on that. So anyways, that was that. So then in 1995, I moved to Tucson. In 1995, I lived in Tucson, and I worked right next door. My office was right next door to Motham Air Force Base. If you're familiar with Tucson, it's in the south side. It's a huge military Air Force base. And so, anyways, I was there, and I had heard that Jimmy Carter. I'm sorry, and I heard that Bill Clinton was flying in to give a speech at the Civic Center downtown Tucson. So I was kind of aware of it. I wasn't thinking heavily about it. But all of a sudden, I noticed out my window, I could see a bunch of commotion. There was a lot of police, and it looked like there was a highway in front. So anyway, so I looked. I said, "Oh, that must be either the president must be coming or going, and they're blocking off the entrances, the ramps, etc., like they typically do when a president's around." So I said, "Heck, I'm going to go outside and see what's going on." So I went outside. Nobody else was there. I'm the only one on this. It was like on a access road, I think it was. And I'm standing there and I'm looking around. I don't see anything. But then all of a sudden, there comes a motorcade. And it was, what? And all of a sudden, it pulls over. And I'm looking around. Well, why is he pulling over? Or why are they pulling over? I'm the only one here. And of course, I just want to let you know, I was waving like crazy when the motorcade was approaching, and I probably looked really silly, okay? Anyway, so this whole group of limousines basically come over. And all of a sudden, two Secret Service guys jump out, and they kind of check me out, make sure I look all right. And all of a sudden, another car pulls over, and the window goes down, and guess who's in there? Bill Clinton. And so Bill is just like you see him. He was lively. He was talking. He was smiling. He thanked me for being there. The only person, on the side of the street there waving like a crazy maniac. He really appreciated it. Didn't shake my hand, but he did that. So I don't know why, but I just blurted out, "What about the UFOs?" And he said, "I'm taking care of that. Don't worry, I'm taking care of something to that effect." And all of a sudden the window goes up and off they go. And that was it. And even though I remember that since 1990, which I guess would be, 30 years ago, I didn't think a whole lot about it, but I didn't forget the experience because it was quite an interesting little encounter, okay? So anyways, just recently, I happened to notice in the online an article that Bill Clinton, now he's much older, as you probably know, I think he's 75 or so. He was on the Late Late Show with, what is his name? With Coden, what's his name? James Coden. Coden. Well, I'm pronouncing his name wrong. I'm sorry. Anyways, it's the Late Late Show. And anyway, so he's on there with him. And I think they had kind of a question and answer thing going on with the audience. And I guess also the people on stage, the band. And I think there's a guy, I think the band leader's name's Reggie Watts. I haven't watched too many of the shows because it's quite late at night. And I think it's Reggie Watts, his name is. And he asked Clinton straight out, thinking it was just going to be a funny joke, "What about UFOs?" And of course the audience laughs. But then Clinton comes back to him and says, "That's a serious question. That is a damn serious question." And then he further says that he sent to, I guess, Area 51, a guy, his national security advisor, one of his national security advisors, and I do remember this guy. His name was Sandy Berger. And he sent him to, I guess, go and see at Area 51 if there was UFOs and aliens. Now, I don't think, obviously they probably didn't take him to where there could have been UFOs and aliens, but apparently he got kind of the free run to talk to a lot of people. And Clinton said that when he came back, he did tell him, the scientists and some of the people he spoke with felt pretty strongly that they existed. I think he gave a number like 85 to 95% of everybody they ran into, they said, yeah, they were pretty certain they existed. Now, they didn't acknowledge that they were probably right down in the next office over or anything like that. I mean, I believe there is some, some things, UFOs and possibly some aliens there at Area Fair, were at one point. Probably not even in 1990. It was probably well before that. But anyways, I thought that was really, really cool because considering in 1990, he said he was going to take care of that. And I just kind of, I don't want to say I blew it off, but it was, just maybe I was thinking he was being funny. And then hearing a story that probably right around that time, he sent Sandy Berger out there to check it out. I thought that was really cool. It felt like a connection. It really, really did. Anyways, that's my story today, and I'm sticking with it. And by the way, a little side note, Ronald Reagan supposedly, I don't have any kind of eyeball-to-eyeball proof of this. I did not talk to Ronald Reagan ever, but he apparently had a really interesting encounter in L.A., on I think it's the Walhalla Road or something. I think that's a famous road that goes through L.A. I guess one night him and his wife were in with Secret Service, were driving, and they encountered, rumor has it, aliens on the road at night. So I don't know how true that was, but my feeling is that most presidents probably have had some kind of encounter, or have seen them or heard of them, etc. Obviously, most of them don't talk, although it seems like Bill Clinton's talking now a little bit about it. And at the time, when I met Jimmy Carter, he was really into it. Another little side comment I just remembered about Jimmy Carter was I had some friends that lived very close to Plains, Georgia, very close to President Carter's farm there, peanut farm. And they told me that they remember years, even before he was president, there was a lot of strange lights coming and going from their property there in Plains. Don't know, they call them UFOs, don't know what it was. But I thought that was kind of an interesting side comment, that I had gotten when I lived there in Georgia. So anyways, that's it. And hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe. We need your subscriptions. We're trying to get to our magic 1,000. If you like us, like us. If you want to send us a private email, send it to dementialwalking@gmail.com. And that's about it. Take it easy. We'll see you. See you next time. Bye-bye.